Hey CB Rob, I'm sending a quick message to my CBX team about this guest experience guide. Obviously a message for all ears as always, but I wanted to go over the execution, purpose, and expectations for guest experience guide, more commonly referred to as the GEG, as I will say going forward. So I heard about the GEG on a corporate sales call a couple weeks ago that a GM had. I asked for her file and kind of created one of my own. And as you guys know, I've probably edited a couple times, changing things as Erica has already suggested to me, and I will be doing. Anyways, guest experience guide. This is to help the sales team as a whole execute that sales process from beginning to end by getting all of the information that we need stored in the right places and trying to not duplicate any extra work for anybody, but also making sure that we hit all the points that we need. This is a guide for you as a CBX setting up a new writer, as a guide for you through the journey. This is not to hold and ask some questions and write down as you're doing your new writer setup. You guys are all great hosts for our new writers when they come into the studio. This is to collect the information, pass along to your shift lead, that the shift lead then inputs into Club Ready and sets tasks for me to do sales follow-ups. So all of the information that's on here is part of the new writer journey and info that we need to guide the new writer along in the sales process to eventually become a member, and if executed correctly, hopefully sooner than later. So guest experience guide, we're starting with class date and time, guest name, CBX name. So that's the CBX who sets up the new writer. In a perfect world, I am calling and confirming our first-time writers. I'm getting them on the phone and finding out this top half of info prior to their visit. Again, we know that doesn't always happen. Most of the time it's a voicemail, a text, or an email with confirming their first ride. But if I get them on the phone, I'm going to get this info. So first 4 questions, these are our inquiry questions to find out, how did they hear about us? Have they tried indoor cycling before? If yes, have you been to a cycle bar before? And what brought you to cycle bar today? All of this information is really helpful in the new writer journey and finding out how we can best serve them before, during, and after ride number 1. So first half here, all before you go into the cycle theater for that bike setup, okay? Then bike setup complete, hand off to the instructor. Hey, so-and-so, this is a new rider, Elizabeth, she's ready to go, and you're passing it off to the cycle star to say hello before class begins, and then they're gonna go over the stats board from the front of the podium. Come out of the cycle theater, fill this top half out, and then after class we move down to the bottom half. We have they come out of the cycle theater after touching base with their cycle instructor after the ride, where the instructor's job is to just greet them. Maybe that new rider pick happens. The instructor should be thanking them for coming today and letting them know when they teach next. So there's one touch in our new writer journey and getting them to return. Second half, you come out, ask them how was their ride. We find out how much they loved it and what their favorite part was, encouraging that dialogue. Do you see yourself coming back? That's getting them walking themselves into an answer for their second ride or a membership. And how often, if they tell you they want to ride 3 times a week and they're ready and they loved it, be like, awesome, let's get started today. You joined today for $49. We can post date a membership for a week. So you could say, use your 2 remaining rides. Let's set it up to start, 4 days from now when you're gonna need them again, get them locked in right when they're on that endorphin high. Anyways, if they say no, no problem. Is it the program or the price? What's keeping you today from joining? We find that out. I completely understand. Why don't we just book you on your second ride and we'll go from there and see what works with your schedule, et cetera, et cetera. So we have here, guest result, must circle 1, unlimited, 8 rides, 4 rides, new rider 3-pack, 5-pack, and book second ride. One of these must be filled out. Again, at the end, they get on their way. You give this to the lead CBX. They input this information into Club Ready in their keynote and set follow-up tasks for me to execute the sales process. these will be taken off of this singular clipboard and clipped to one of the 4 clipboards behind the desk for the shifts, early morning shifts, evening shifts, and weekend shifts. And then I collect those and work on that sales process and getting us to those 300 members. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any questions, let me know. But at the end of the video, hit me with a like and let me know what you think. If you have any questions or any ideas on executing our CB Rob GEG. Thanks.